want to talk about the question that was asked. I literally just left a toxic work environment. What now? First of all, let me just say congratulations. Congratulations. And I don't know how you feel right now in this moment. I want to say to you, if you're excited about it, I'm excited with you. If you're upset about it, stressed out about it, traumatized behind it, I want to say more and better is on the way. I don't want to diminish what you might be going through because there are a lot of emotions that come with leaving a toxic workplace. And the way we're going to talk about it today is going to be based on two different situations. One, if you left and you planned on it, and one, if you left and you have no plan. Okay. Let's start with if you planned it. Okay. So I talk about this in episode 19 last week. If you plan to leave, I always say, get your emergency fund, your escape fund together. Sometimes things don't happen in a linear way. So if you planned on leaving and you have a little cushion and a minute before you are going to be out of money, you're in obviously a better place. So I urge you to take a beat, take a minute, and center yourself and use this as a reset time. Okay. A lot of times we're so pissed and angry and you just want to show these people, F you, I can go get another job or whatever. And it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes your job isn't coming right away. Sometimes a job isn't coming, if I'm being honest. A lot of times these sorts of situations are what lead us Black women into entrepreneurship, which isn't a bad thing. It could be a huge blessing. If you still have got health care, hold on for dear life to that therapist and make sure you are working through whatever it is that you went through at that toxic workplace while you have that. Okay, this is very, very important because it's really easy to spin and spiral funnel like down into a depression, right? This is a big life change. They say divorce, babies, marriage, losing your job, moving. Those are big things that you have to deal with in life. This is a big change for you. And a lot of times when you have left a toxic workplace, you feel like a failure, whether you left on your own accord or whether you were terminated, you feel like a failure. You feel like you did something wrong. You take it personal. I am telling you, it is not you. Okay. I am telling you, God has a better plan for you. I don't know what that plan is. You might not know what that plan is. Get your community together, okay? If you have toxic friends or toxic family, you're going to have to push them to the side. If you have loving, wonderful family and friends, get into them, right? Get into them. It's okay to need help emotionally, And I think losing a job for me took such a toll on me emotionally because when I left, I felt like such a failure. I was so angry. Yeah. And I just took it personal. I had to deal with a lot of professional self-worth issues. So you need to take the time to work that stuff out. Tap into your creativity. Don't be in such a hurry to go back to work if you can take a little bit of some time for yourself and figure out exactly what it is you want to do. Do some of the things that are low levels of stress in your life that you didn't have the chance to address while you were working in that toxic place. And listen to the signs. I would strongly recommend that you start moving around, you start walking, doing those things that are healthy for yourself, because all of that is going to generate your brain creativity, like the endorphins, that sort of thing. I come up with my best ideas when I'm walking or in the shower. When I'm creative and I'm not worried about money, I'm really able to tap into what I want to do in my life and come up with some really good game plans. When I left my toxic workplace, my ego was very much involved. I was very embarrassed. Like I said, I took it very personal. People say, oh, I was let go, I got a severance package, but you know what? At the end of the day, you were fired, and it's not unusual to take that personal, especially if you've never been let go before. Sometimes that's just like the push that you needed to get your ass up and go, to get you to start the business, to get you to do the thing, to get you to take the course, to certify yourself, to just improve yourself so you can be open to better opportunity. Okay. Now let me talk a minute about what to do if you don't have money saved up. Before you start panicking, if you were let go and you were like me and you didn't have like an emergency fund set and you don't have money set aside, it can be extremely stressful. Okay. Now, worst case scenario, if you worked in corporate, most likely, if you have no money, okay, and you have no prospects for a job, and the economy is tight, whatever, you can't find anything. I'm not saying to do this, but it's an option if you have these things. Your 401k, your IRA, your retirement. Okay, I'm not saying go through all of it. There are repercussions to taking that money when you are under 59 and a half. But it is something that I did when I left my toxic advertising agency. I think I had about $65,000 in retirement. And I went through that money, obviously, because I filed bankruptcy later, and that's how I was living. That was not my plan, but that money was there, and I was young enough at the time, like 32, to rebuild, okay? So it wasn't the end of the world. That's something you can do. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not a financial expert. But if you don't have any other money, you do have that money. You will be penalized for it come tax time, but you're not completely broke. Another way that you might not have thought about, if you have a life insurance policy, a lot of times you earn dividends and you can just request to withdraw that money if you have it. A lot of times you can take a low interest loan on that money, like 2 to 4%. I have done that, okay, with insurance policies. It's there if you need it, okay? I'm not telling you to do that, but if something happens, that's money that you have, that you've been paying into, that you are not destitute and you don't have to lose your home or your car. You've got kids to take care of. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. You have to make the decision to do that and maybe take a minute to think and clear your mind and get your mind right. Because if you were terminated unexpectedly and you don't have any money, you still are dealing with the emotional toll of being terminated. So you're still dealing with the embarrassment and the professional self-worth issues and all of the things that anybody else would be dealing with, but even more so because you got terminated and you weren't prepared. And the stress of not having money is unlike any other stress because all you can see is money. But if you have some money that can get you through for the next month or two, you can pull a little bit of money out and know that you're going to take the hit on your taxes. At least the money is there. Okay. So that puts you in a better position because, you don't want to lose your home and your car and all of the things. Tap into your friends and your family and everyone. Don't have an ego. Let everyone know, and this is for whether you had money set aside or not. Let people know where you're at. Let people know what you're doing, that you're looking. This is what I've got going on. Tap into those resources. Utilize your network. Okay. I cannot tell you how much work I have gotten from people because we are friends or acquaintances and they know what it is I do. I tried to start a YouTube channel so many times, but I was so, holding everything so close to the vest, not wanting anybody to know what it was I did. And I wasn't doing my promotion, right? So network, let people know where you are. It's not anything that you should be embarrassed about, okay? You've got to make your ends meet, okay? So maybe you're not going to, go back into another 6-figure job, but you will get something that is temporary. So don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Let the ego go, okay? Get some sort of money coming in for the next month or two. If you have to tap into accounts that you don't want to tap into, shit happens, but at least it's there so that you can take a minute to figure out what you want to do. So you can do the same thing that you would do if you did have the emergency fund. The last thing you want to do is go from one toxic workplace to another.